Olive was standing on a steep slope covered in crunchy white snow. It was very cold. She was wearing a thick, puffy coat and a bobble hat.
I'm glad I've got these warm clothes.
Oh, yes, you can say that again,
said a voice. Olive turned to see a little man with a huge bushy beard. He was only wearing a vest and pants. He was shivering quite a lot.
I'm Olive. Pleased to meet you.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Sir Edmund Hillertop, a famous mountaineer. I climb all the tallest mountains.
Oh, so is this a tall mountain?
Tall? Olive, old bean, this is Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, and I'm climbing to the summit.
But, Sir Edmund, what's happened to all your clothes? Aren't you cold?
Oh, there was this huge gust of wind. It blew away all my warm clothes, along with my map, compass, and packed lunch. So now I'm rather chilly, hungry, and lost.
Well, I'm not sure how to help. I'm no mountaineer.
Suddenly, there was an enormous growl. Out from behind a rock jumped a huge, fairy, man-shaped thing. It was growling, and it didn't sound at all happy to see them.
Oh, that's the infamous Yeti! Run for it before he eats us for his dinner! Wait! He's got my map, compass, and packed lunch! Oi! Give those back!
Oh, I think that's the last we'll see of those. Oh dear. I think he's still hungry. Maybe he's going to eat us next.
She had to think fast.
Sir Edmund, do you have any food at all?
Well, I do have my emergency cupcake. Always keep one tucked away.
A cupcake? A hungry Yeti? I think I may have an idea.
Olive took the cupcake from Sir Edmund and held it out to the Yeti. The Yeti grabbed the cupcake and gobbled it down. Yum, said the Yeti. He seemed very happy.
Oh, I think he wants your poles too, Edmund,
said Olive. Edmund handed them over. The Yeti used them as needles to knit a long scarf out of his own fur. He gave it to Edmund. Edmund wrapped the scarf around himself.
Well, thanks very much. This Yeti scarf really is very warm.
I think he wants to lead us to the summit of Everest,
said Olive. So Olive and Sir Edmund followed the Yeti all the way to the summit.
We've conquered Everest!
Beamed Sir Edmund.
And you're the first ever ostrich to climb it. Congratulations, Olive.
That's lovely. But how do we get down again?
Suddenly, the Yeti gave Olive and Sir Edmund a push. They went sliding all the way down Mount Everest on their bottoms, and the Yeti slid down behind. Cried Olive as she slid. At the bottom, they ended up in a snowdrift.
Oh, that was fun.
Thanks so much for all your help, Olive.
I think you've got yourself a new mountain climbing best friend forever.
Chuckled Olive. They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again,
said her mum.
Cake? Actually, I climbed Mount Everest and met a Yeti.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear,
said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
This is a spectacular place.
Olive saw a man with a huge curly moustache. He wore a red and black tunic with a crown on the front.
I'm Olive. Where am I, please?
I'm Beefy the Beefeater. You're on a tour of the Tower of London.
He answered.
I'm in London.
Olive found a camera hanging around her neck and snapped a few pictures.
And if you look to your right, you'll see the ravens. Tradition says they must never leave the tower, or the kingdom will fall. And not a single one has. Not on my watch, anyhow.
Hello. What's your name?
Olive asked.
Roberta.
And why do you look so sad, Roberta?
Because I really want to explore London, like those tourists over there. I want to see all the sights, Big Ben, Buckingham Palace, and especially Trafalgar Square.
But of course you can't leave the tower.
Said Olive.
No, and Beefy is always watching and counting us.
So you need to somehow get away without Beefy realising.
Olive looked around and saw an ice cream van nearby. She also saw a lady tourist wearing a long black raincoat.
An ice cream van. A black raincoat. I think I may have an idea. Please, can I borrow your raincoat?
Olive asked the lady, who nodded. Then she bought an ice cream cone from the ice cream van. Olive put on the black raincoat and stuck the cone onto her own beak, using the ice cream to make it stick. She looked just like a raven. Well, almost.
I'll pretend to be you, Roberta, while you go to see the sights of London.
Wow, great idea.
When Beefy was looking the other way, Roberta made a dash through the tower gates. Olive tried to blend in with the other ravens, but she was so tall she really stuck out. What was worse, the ice cream cone was melting, dripping into a growing puddle at her feet. Beefy walked over and began counting the ravens.
1, 2, 3, 4.
When he got to Olive, he stopped and raised an eyebrow. Said Olive. That was a pretty good impression of a raven. Beefy shrugged and continued to count.
5, 6 ravens. Excellent.
But now, Olive's ice cream had melted so much, the cone fell off her beak.
Hang on a raven counting minute. You're not a raven. You're an ostrich. I'd better count again.
Oh no, he's going to realise there's one raven missing.
Beefy began to count.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5?
But just in the nick of time, Roberta came swooping in over the Tower of London's walls. She landed just behind Beefy. Said Roberta loudly. Beefy spun round.
Aha! There's number 6, all safe and sound. What was I thinking? It's not like these ravens ever leave the tower. Not on my watch, anyway.
Beefy walked off to get his dinner.
No, us ravens never leave the tower.
Chuckled Roberta. This made Olive and the other ravens laugh too. And as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been a raven in the Tower of London.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the ostrich!
Olive was in a big room surrounded by tall shelves full of books. It was very quiet.
Where am I?
Said Olive, rather loudly.
Shh! Be quiet, please. You're in a library.
A face peered out from behind one of the bookshelves. It was a little red squirrel with a big bushy tail.
Oh, sorry.
Olive whispered.
I'm Olive. Why is it so quiet in this library?
Because it's a place where you come to read or borrow books. It's best to have quiet when you're trying to read. I'm Henry Huckleberry, and I love to read.
Oh, me too.
Trouble is, I can't find my favourite book anywhere.
What's it called?
It's a big yellow book called Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs. It's really awesome.
It was then Olive and Henry heard someone muttering.
Oh dear, oh dear.
They peered behind a shelf and saw a little red-faced bookworm putting books back on the shelves.
Oh dear, oh bother.
Excuse me.
Whispered Olive.
What? What is it? I'm very busy, you know.
We're looking for a book. Wilfred, it's called Attack of the Mutant...
Sorry, I haven't got time to find your book. I've got all these books to put back on the shelves. Too much to do. Got to go.
Henry sighed.
This place is such a mess. My book could be anywhere.
Wait.
Said Olive.
Look, there's a yellow book on the top of that tall shelf.
Oh, yes. That's Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs. But we're never going to reach it way up there.
Lots of books that can be piled up really high. I think I may have an idea.
Henry and Olive stacked the books higher and higher until the pile almost touched the ceiling.
There. We'll have your book down in no time.
Olive began to climb the stack of books, but as Olive climbed higher, the books became more and more wobbly.
Be careful, Olive.
Whispered Henry. Finally, Olive got to the top. She had to lean over to grab Henry's book with her beak, but then the stack of the books really started to wobble. Olive couldn't keep her balance anymore. And then the whole stack collapsed. The books came tumbling down into a huge heap, burying Olive and Henry.
Oops.
Said Olive. Wilfred came rushing over.
Shh! What is this terrible mess?
Sorry, we were just trying to get my favourite book from the top shelf, and it all went horribly wrong.
We can help you put all these books back on the shelves, Wilfred.
Well, yes, I suppose that would be very helpful.
So Olive, Henry and Wilfred put all the books back onto the shelves. Finally, there was just one book left.
Wow! Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs. I've been looking for this book for ages. It's my favourite.
Wow, mine too.
Beamed Henry.
Why don't we read it together?
Yes! Great idea!
Shouted Wilfred.
Shush!
Shushed Olive and Henry.
Sorry,
Whispered Wilfred.
I should really keep my voice down. This is a library, don't you know?
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I helped find Attack of the Mutant Space Frogs.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive's feet were buried in soft yellow sand. It was very hot and sunny.
Okay. Where am I?
Said Olive. She could see 3 huge triangular-shaped buildings in the distance. Olive was so busy looking at the pyramids, she didn't notice the huge hole in the ground and fell right in. Olive picked herself up. There was someone in the middle of the hole, digging deeper and deeper into the sand.
Hello? Hello?
Called Olive. The digging stopped, and a small mole popped his head up and squinted at Olive.
Hello, who's there? I cannot see you.
Complained the mole.
Hello, I'm Olive. Nice to meet you.
I'm Horace Molius, archaeologist extraordinaire. Welcome to Egypt.
Egypt? How exciting! But what's an archaeologist?
An archaeologist is a discoverer of old things hidden underground, but today I'm just trying to find my mummy.
Explained Horace.
Oh, I've heard about these ancient Egyptian mummies that have been buried in the sand for thousands of years. I'd love to see one for real. Oh, why are you throwing all of these treasures away?
Olive pointed at a pile of sand containing lots of sparkly gems and jewels.
Oh, what treasure.
Said Horace. Olive held up a crystal, and Horace had a really close look at it.
Oh, you're right.
Said Horace.
I can't see a thing. I've lost my glasses somewhere in the desert.
Olive looked around and had a think.
Shiny crystals. An old whip. I think I may have an idea. There you go, Horace.
Said Olive. She had tied the whip around Horace's head, looping 2 crystals on it to make a pair of glasses.
Oh, I can see. I can see.
Horace cried. He was jumping for joy. But Horace's jumping had loosened the ground. It started to crack beneath their feet. Olive and Horace fell through the ground and disappeared.
Are you okay, Horace?
Asked Olive as she dusted herself down.
Yes, I'm all right.
Okay.
Exclaimed Olive as she looked around in wonder. The room was full of all sorts of ancient Egyptian treasures.
Oh, back home again. That's a shortcut I've never used before. And I was close to my mummy all along. Mummy!
cried Horace as he rushed to give his mummy a really big hug.
Welcome home, dear.
Said Horace's mum.
Oh! So you meant you were looking for your actual mummy, Horace. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Molius. I have to say, you look much younger than the mummy I was expecting. I thought we were looking for one of these.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I've been in Egypt looking for mummies.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive saw beautiful plants and flowers everywhere. She was in the jungle. Olive was wearing an explorer's hat and boots. She had a camera and a magnifying glass.
Grr. I have everything I need to explore this place.
She was about to set off when she noticed something odd. Some leaves which seemed to float along above the ground. Olive took out her magnifying glass and looked closer at the leaves.
Those leaves aren't floating. Tiny ants are carrying them to their anthill.
Olive photographed the ants and walked off into the trees. First, she passed a splashing waterfall. Olive took a photo with her camera. Next, she passed an enormous blue flower. She took a photo of that too. Finally, she found herself on a cliff top where she took a photo of the spectacular view. Olive thought she'd stop to take a rest. Suddenly, she heard a little voice.
I'm lost. Could you please help me find my way back home?
Olive turned and saw a brightly coloured parrot.
Well, sure. I'd love to help you. I'm Olive.
Well, sure. I'd love to help you. I'm Olive.
Olive was confused.
No, my name's Olive. What's yours?
No, my name's Olive. What's yours?
Wait, why are you repeating everything I say?
Wait, why are you repeating everything I say?
I'm sorry. I should probably be getting on my way.
I'm sorry. I should probably be getting on my way. No, please don't go. I really am lost. My name is Anthony the Ant, and I really want to go home.
I think you're a parrot, not an ant.
I think you're a parrot.
Okay, that's enough.
Said Olive. Olive held her magnifying glass up to the parrot's face, and sitting on top of the parrot's head was a tiny little ant.
You see, I'm using the parrot to talk for me because my voice is so tiny and quiet.
Olive plucked the ant carefully from the parrot's head, and the parrot flew away.
It's good to meet you, Anthony. Maybe I can help you find your way home.
Well, I live in a huge ant hill. Have you seen it?
You mean like this one?
Yes, that's my home. Can you take me there, Olive?
Olive wasn't sure she knew which direction to take. But it was then she remembered all the other photos she'd taken while walking all day, and could see she had made footprints as she walked.
A trail of footprints showing where I came from. And lots of photographs. I think I may have an idea.
Olive placed Anthony on her shoulder and began walking back, retracing the footprints she'd left.
If I look through my photos, I can find your anthill, Anthony.
Using the photos, she walked back past the spectacular view, then past the enormous blue flower, and then past the splashing waterfall. Finally, Olive and Anthony arrived back at the anthill. Loads of ants came out to welcome him home. They were so pleased, they picked Olive up and cheered.
I think I might be getting ants in my pants.
Exclaimed Olive. Olive and the ants all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay. Actually, I helped an ant in the jungle.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.
Olive the Ostrich!
Olive found herself in a jungle clearing. There were huge lizard-like creatures everywhere.
Cake, look at all these dinosaurs.
There were even some flying in the sky like birds. Olive sat down to watch as one swooped down to feed its babies who were calling out from a rocky ledge. Just then, she felt something move underneath her.
Oh, what was that?
Olive jumped up and saw that she'd been sitting on top of a huge nest of eggs. Then, crack! One by one, the eggs hatched, and out popped 3 baby dinosaurs.
Oh, hello.
Said Olive.
Yes, you need your mummy. Well, I'm sure she'll be back soon. It's nice to meet you. What? No, I'm not your mummy.
But the babies began to follow Olive's every move.
Oh, leave me alone.
No matter how fast she ran, she couldn't shake them off.
Look, over there.
Olive quickly ducked inside an old hollow tree trunk. She kept very quiet as the little dinosaurs hunted around for her. But then,
Achoo!
the tree trunk made the sound of Olive's sneeze even louder.
Oh dear, I think we need to find your real mummy. Babies who need their mother. An old hollow tree trunk. I think I may have an idea.
She remembered how the little flying dinosaurs had called to their mummy with loud cries.
If we make you louder, maybe your mum will hear you.
Olive encouraged the baby dinosaurs into the hollow trunk. As they climbed in, their cries became so loud that they echoed out into the jungle.
Mama, Mama, Mama.
She'll definitely hear that.
Whoa!
Oh, but that can't be your mum. Run for it!
Olive and the babies turned and ran as fast as they could as a huge dinosaur with big teeth came running out of the trees towards them. It was a Tyrannosaurus Rex. They reached a big puddle. Olive tried to swing over it on a vine, but the vine snapped and she fell.
Kick!
The T-Rex stopped in front of them, then burst out laughing.
Oh, you do look silly in that puddle. My name's Diana Saw.
Hello, Diana. I'm Olive. Why were you chasing me?
I'm looking for my eggs. I left them in a nest over there, but they've gone. Have you seen them?
Your eggs? Well, they've hatched.
Oh, my darlings, come to Mummy.
Oh, they still think I'm their mum. I don't know why. I don't look anything like them.
I think I have an idea. Why don't we all have a nice drink of water?
Diana winked at Olive.
Okay.
When the babies saw Olive and Diana drinking from the puddle, they did the same. And a funny thing happened. They all saw their reflections in the water. The babies looked at Olive, then at Diana, then down at themselves, and realised that Diana was their real mum after all.
Phew. Well done, Diana. You're even better at hatching plans than I am.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Heck, actually, I've hatched some baby dinosaurs.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive found herself on a small boat in the middle of a large lake. All around her were purple hills covered with heather. Behind the wheel of the boat stood a man. He was peering into the water.
Hello there. I'm Olive. Are you looking for something?
Hey, Olive. Chuck McNichol. Yes, I sure am looking for something. Nessie.
What's Nessie?
The Loch Ness Monster. I've been sailing up and down Loch Ness all week, but it sure is hard to find Nessie.
Olive suddenly heard a low, rumbling, groaning sound.
Heck, what's that noise?
Oh, I need something to try and attract Nessie, you see, so I'm playing her whale sounds through these waterproof speakers.
Oh, so what have you seen so far?
2 fish, a turtle, and a medium-sized crab.
Oh, well, I could help you look for Nessie if you'd like.
Oh, thanks, but I've had enough searching for now, so I'm going back to my hotel to take a nap.
Oh, Is that more whale songs?
No, that's Bobby McDonald. He owns the bagpipe shop. Hello there. Any luck finding Nessie? Afraid not, Bobby.
Your dog seems to like those bagpipes.
Aye, he loves them. In fact, all my pets love the sound of the pipes.
Olive liked the sound of the pipes too.
A Loch Ness monster that won't show its face. A musical instrument that animals love. I think I may have an idea. Chuck, no time to waste. We need to go back out onto the loch, please.
Oh, all right, Olive.
And Bobby, can you come with us? And bring your bagpipes, please.
Of course.
OK, Bobby, play your pipes into this microphone. Then the sound will play out through the underwater speakers.
The sound of Bobby's bagpipes echoed out across Loch Ness and down into the water. Bobby played and played and played, but still there was no sign of Nessie.
Oh, I can't play any longer. I need to lie down.
We can't give up now. I'm going to have a try.
Olive took the pipes from Bobby and began to play. It didn't sound very good.
Oh, this won't work. Olive, that sounds awful.
But as Olive played, she was silhouetted against the setting sun. It made her look a very strange shape. Then something large and mysterious rose out of the water. It was Nessie.
Nessie, I can't believe it. Yippee! Oh, it truly is her.
Hello there.
Hello, Nessie. Glad you dropped by.
I need my eyes testing. I saw your shape there and I thought it was another Nessie.
Oh, I hope you're not too disappointed.
Oh, no, I've always loved the sound of the pipes.
Hey, Nessie, do you mind if I take a few snaps?
Well, normally I don't do pictures, but go right then. Just this once.
Say cheese.
Cheese! Oh, what of you two?
So they took lots of photos of Nessie, Olive, and Chuck. Finally, it was time for Nessie to leave.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. I know. Hey, how about one last tune on the pipes, Olive?
I don't think so, Chuck. I think it's high time I pipe down.
Oh, yeah.
They all laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Bucket, actually, I helped find the Loch Ness monster.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure. Olive was in a small, dimly lit room. In front of her were lots of buttons and levers and colourful flashing lights.
Where am I?
Some lights shone out over a beautiful underwater world outside the window.
Bucket, what a view!
There were hundreds and hundreds of fish swimming around in front of an enormous blue canyon.
Oh, I'm in a submarine deep in the ocean. I can't wait to explore.
Olive pushed a big red lever marked forward and the submarine dived deep down into the canyon. Olive spotted the opening to a cave.
Interesting.
Said Olive as she drove her submarine right into the cave.
It's even darker in here than it was before.
Olive drove through a big patch of seaweed.
Oh no, now I can't see where I'm going.
The seaweed suddenly came to life and picked up the submarine.
Ow.
Then in the headlights loomed the big green face of an octopus.
Hello.
Bubbled the octopus.
Gig, who are you?
My name's Jonah. I've been trapped inside this whale for days. It's so good to finally meet someone new.
My name's Olive. But what do you mean trapped inside the whale? I just drove into a cave.
Oh no, that was a huge whale's mouth you drove into, Olive. And now he's closed it shut. There's no escape.
Gig, that doesn't sound good. We need to make the whale open his mouth again. Maybe I could turn my engines all the way up and then the bubbles will make the whale cough. Then we can escape when he opens his mouth.
Olive turned the submarine's engines onto full power and the water started to bubble up.
Oh, that didn't work.
But then the bubbles Olive had made tickled Jonah on the tummy.
Oh, those bubbles tickle.
An octopus with 8 legs. tickling, I think I may have an idea. Jonah, if you use all your legs, you can tickle the inside of the whale's stomach and make him laugh. Then we can escape through his mouth.
Oh, I think that might just work.
He stretched out his 8 long arms and began to tickle the whale's tummy.
Tickle harder! Tickle harder!
Cried Olive. Jonah tickled as fast as he could. A wall of bubbles started rushing down the tunnel towards Olive and Jonah.
Watch out!
Pecking! What's happening?
I think we might be going out of the top.
The top?
Olive and Jonah were fired out of the whale's blowhole, up high in the sky. Then they started to fall back towards the water. Jonah clung to Olive's submarine with his 8 tentacles as they fell. His body inflated like a parachute, drifting them both gently down to the surface of the water.
Well, that was a lovely, gentle landing.
Oh, thanks so much, Olive. I'm free at last.
That's okay. I think we've all had a whale of a time.
They both laughed, and as they did, Olive realised it was time to go.
Typical Olive, daydreaming again.
Said her mum.
Okay, actually, I've been helping an octopus escape a whale.
Your head's been in the sand too long, dear.
Said Olive's dad. Her little brother laughed. But Olive wasn't listening. She was already dreaming of her next big adventure.